Howdy folks, I'm Vertical Vela, vigorously vacillating in velvet vastness.
I'm Amber.
And here's more velvet vastness for us to vacillate in. And Amber, what are we today?
You're the sail on the Argonaut ship.
That we are, folks. We are sailing away, setting an open course for the open sea. Because we've got to be free. Free to live the life that's ahead of us. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Letting My In-Laws Babysit My Baby When I Have Never Been Allowed Inside of Their House? My partner is a 23-year-old male and I am a 22-year-old female, and we've been together for 6 years, since high school. And I have not once been let inside of his family's home, even though he lives less than 15 minutes away from me. I have brought it up several times, how it's odd that I've never been inside, and it's always gets brushed off, and then they change the subject. I have been out in front of his house hundreds of times, whether it's to pick him up so that he can drop something off, pick something up, but I have always been told to stay in the car out front while he runs inside. I even pretended to be busting to go to the toilet once, and I was out in front waiting in the car and was told to wait until I got home. Currently, he lives with me as we have had a baby last year. However, there have been many hints that have been dropped in conversations around me not letting my in-laws babysit or be left alone with my baby. I straight up said to my partner that if I'm not allowed in your house, then neither is my baby. I should also add that my partner's extended family and also friends have never been allowed inside of their house either. The whole situation is so strange, and I don't really know what to do about it. Does anyone have any theories as to why they won't allow anyone inside? Am I the jerk for not letting my child go inside of the house without me when I have never been allowed inside? I also just want to add that his parents are super nice people, and if it wasn't for this, I would have no issue with letting them babysit. I just find it so weird. Alright folks, what do you think?
Definitely not the jerk. If an environment is not suitable for you, how is it suitable for your child? I think the best case scenario here is hoarding. There are a lot of things that could be going on, a lot of reasons why they wouldn't want people to see the house. And again, I think the absolute best case scenario is that it's really messy, maybe even a hoardery situation, which isn't going to be great for your kid. But that's best case scenario. There's a lot of other things that could be going on that you also wouldn't want a kid in. There's no good option here.
Well, I mean, there could be a good option. The good option is that they just value their privacy a lot, and they don't like other people inside of their home.
I mean,
and,
that's fair.
They might feel like it's an invasion of privacy, or they're very particular about how they like the inside of their house and are afraid, or they had a bad experience with a guest once. And, I mean, certainly, there are benign reasons for them to not want this, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to look suspicious to everyone on the outside.
Right. Well, and they've known OP long enough. If they can't trust her in the house as the mother of their grandchild, then why do they need the grandchild in there either?
Yeah.
It is a parent's duty to ensure their child's safety and well-being. And since OP's husband is being so shady about this whole thing, I don't trust his judgment in this because, you can grow up in an environment and not fully understand how messy and how bad of a living condition it is. You need someone who's removed from the situation to assess it, which is why OP's judgment would matter here.
Yeah. I mean, another alternate is to get pictures of the inside, and if he refuses to take pictures of the inside too, then you know that there's something more going on too, right?
I mean, I'd still say, unless OP can actually be in the space, don't let the child in there because you can make things look one way for pictures. It doesn't guarantee that it will be a safe environment.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fair. And I think, again, you're right, OP needs to make sure that their child is safe and wherever they go, that they're safe. And if there's a lot of hazard and risks around and it's not baby-proofed, then they don't need to be taking care of the baby anyways.
I mean, let's suppose you were looking for a daycare and your friend was like, oh yeah, this daycare is totally cool, but you can't look inside. Would you send your child to that daycare?
Of course not. No one would. No one in their right minds would.
Just treat the grandparents like you would a daycare here. You need a quality inspection to be willing to let your child go there.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Testackless says, so freaking weird to have a kid with a person that you've known about long and never have been allowed inside of their house. Make this a hill to die on and be prepared to not like what you find. And OP replies, This wasn't exactly a deal breaker for me. As weird as the situation is, I love him and he's a great dad to our baby. His parents are the problem. And Fiorborn says, hoarders, nudists, aliens, the possibilities are endless. And OP replies, oh my goodness, imagine that they're nudists. That's gross. And Total Fark user says, the one that makes the most sense is a secret child or someone being held against their will. Nothing wrong with nudists though, even if it's not our thing. And OP replies, I didn't mean to come across that I have an issue with nudists. Whoops. I just don't want to imagine them naked. Not my favorite visual. I mean, I think that's fair. I think that's very, very fair. Alright, folks, and our next very creepy letter, speaking of creepy, is titled, Am I a jerk for kicking my girlfriend's brother out because he gifted us an adult toy while visiting after our daughter's birth? I'm a 27-year-old male, and I've been with my girlfriend, a 26-year-old female, for 7 years, and have known her since we were in high school. She gave birth 2 weeks ago to our first child, a daughter, and this will be relevant. We had invited each of her parents, and in her case, her 2 brothers, a 24-year-old male and a 30-year-old male, to visit our home a few days after she was discharged. I know her parents well. They are very nice people, but not her brothers. Well, during the gathering, everyone handed us gift bags, all of which contained expectable fare that we appreciated. Stuffed animals, dolls, pacifiers, diapers, blankets, onesies, dresses, children's books, etc. Except for the one that my girlfriend's younger brother gave us. When we removed it from the box inside, which was the only thing that the bag contained, we saw that it was an adult toy. My girlfriend asked him who this was for, and he replied, for the girl when she's a bit older. I asked him if this was some tasteless joke, and he said that he really thought that it was something that his own niece would appreciate. I was irate and I yelled at him to get out and take the adult toy with him, and to never talk to our daughter, which upset my girlfriend's parents, who were hurt that I screamed at their son and kicked him out over something that they thought was so minor. Her parents and the other brother left as well. My girlfriend tells me that although she's angry at him, as I am, that I should have been more lenient and that I should apologize to him because he's her brother, whom she is very close to. Am I the jerk for kicking my girlfriend's brother out because he gifted us an adult toy while visiting our daughter's birth? Alright, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk, and do not let this man around your child.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like,
Never again.
The insinuation here is very, very creepy and not okay. He should not be thinking about his infant niece in that way. So, yeah, no, do not have this man in your child's life at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm afraid of what the deeper consequences here are if they were to allow him around. I would not trust an individual who had executed such poor judgment. And if the very least, if you do have him around her, then they can never be unsupervised, right?
Right. And I don't trust, like, the parents either, because they're like, oh, this is just a minor thing. No, this isn't minor. They should have been the ones to chew him out as, like, his parents. They should have been horrified and, like, this isn't minor. The kid should not be swept under the rug, and this for the sake of family harmony, because bad things happen when that happens.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like, I think that OP did the right thing and stood up correctly here. I think that you don't want to take any chances on a situation like this, and again, this is such a in poor taste gift that I don't know how anyone tolerated him doing this at all. And maybe he's just naive, but I would rather not take my chances.
Well, that's the thing, is like, best case scenario, it was like a really, really poor joke, and he can take this time that he doesn't get to see his niece to sit with his actions and think about the consequences. But that's the absolute best case scenario.
Yeah.
You do not want to take your chances.
No. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Accomplished Emu 591 says, not the jerk, and everyone else is minimizing this sicko behavior, when they should be worried about what it implies about him. I would be very concerned about that person being around any children in the future. And Reality TV Pause says, I would be concerned about the whole family, considering how they felt it wasn't a big deal. And that's my big problem, is like, I don't know that I would have had any less of a reaction to that than OP did.
Right, well, exactly. Like, I can't imagine even, like, my own family members, if they were to do something like that, it would just be so horrifying. I'd be like, what is wrong with you? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, you need to go to therapy.
Yeah.
And Beneficial Breath 232 says, not the jerk. Gifting an adult toy to his sister could have been a gag gift between two very close siblings, but your niece, that is just 15 days old, that is so weird and inappropriate. I would feel very uneasy to have that person around my daughter. And Paris Girl 13 says, that is what I thought I was going to read. And that is bad enough. Absolutely reprehensible gift for a baby. Alright, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Mother-in-Law to Get Out of My House After She Traveled 3 hours to come and visit? My husband has a habit of never telling me when he is expecting guests, and to be blunt, I'm tired of it. We have an 8-month-old, and there has been at least 15 occasions now where he has invited his mother or sisters over and has just not told me, starting from 4 days postpartum. They both live 3 hours away. Well, my mother-in-law showed up here on Saturday, and I had to just lay down with my daughter and take a nap maybe 20 minutes prior. Like I had literally just fell asleep with my breasts out because I was breastfeeding, when my mother-in-law and husband walk into the bedroom. I wake up to my husband pulling my shirt back into a decent position and him saying, "Hey, Mom's here to see us." I said, "Well, I just got the baby down for a nap, so we aren't available." He kind of whispers to me and says, "Babe, she just traveled 3 hours here to see us. You can take a nap after she leaves." I've had the same repeated conversation with this man about my thoughts on guests when I have not been informed beforehand due to this. I got incredibly mad and I told him to get out of the room now. Well, my mother-in-law says something to the effect of, "Come on, up you go. I didn't travel down here for nothing," and starts pulling the blanket off me. So I snapped and I said, "Yes, you did travel down here for nothing, because me and my daughter are not going to get out of bed for an unannounced guest. Now get out." My husband just looked embarrassed and told his mom to go and pulled her out of the room as she was complaining about respect or whatever else. I heard the front door slam and I went back to sleep. I woke up an hour and a half later and my husband was sitting at the kitchen island with a mad look on his face, and as soon as he saw me, he unleashed, said that he can't believe that I would embarrass him like that, and that it's not like it would have killed me to just get out of bed for 30 minutes so that his mother could see the baby. I once again told him that unless he loosed me in, I'm not going to be open for guests. I'm done being told what's going on and feeling like I'm in the dark in my own home. Now he swears up and down that he did tell me, when I know for an absolute fact that he did not. He's trying to play that she traveled here for 3 hours for nothing card, but I truly don't care. I was tired and I needed sleep. Visiting with an unannounced to me guest was not on my priority list. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, very much not the jerk. And honestly, like, I'd be divorcing this man yesterday. He brought this woman unannounced into your bedroom while you had just, like, fallen down and were exposed. Like, I just can't imagine the feeling of OP waking up to see her husband covering her up while her mother-in-law is standing in the bedroom. Like, that's just a normal thing. Oh, and we're just going to pull you out of bed like a sleepy child and not the adult that you are. This man has zero respect for OP and her well-being. And he's not being a good partner. He's just doing whatever he's like. Why is he making these visits without telling OP?
Yeah. Well, the whole situation feels very infantilizing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, from the mother-in-law's tone to OP, telling her, "Up you go, I didn't visit for nothing." It's like
Trying to pull her out of bed.
Telling a little kid that you need to come out of bed and, come and play or talk to the adults or something like that.
And like pulling the blankets off of her. Like that, this is an invasion of OP's personal space and privacy, and like just demand her time when she's exhausted from taking care of a baby. Like, how much work is the husband doing in this to take care of the kid, I wonder?
Yeah, I mean, I think that those are all important questions, right? And I think that this is something that OP should reflect on and decide if this relationship is worth salvaging. If it is worth salvaging, then I think that they definitely need to go into therapy and they need to actually work on some of this communication, because clearly OP's not getting through to this man.
Well, and he needs to actually start valuing her and make agreements and stick to them. He needs to set boundaries with his mom and or at least talk to his wife. Like, I can't imagine, like, I know sometimes things happen last minute, but like for the most part, it sounds like these trips are planned by him and his mom, and he doesn't bother to loop his wife in at all.
They had 3 hours to tell her.
At a absolute
At a minimum,
minimum.
right? 3 hours at a very minimum to tell her that mother-in-law was on the way, right? And while I'm sure OP wouldn't have cared for this such short notice, it's better than her showing up in the doorway while she's sleeping, right? And so it just shows a fundamental lack of respect for OP in general. Like if he knew this ahead of time, which it sounds like he did know, then he is the one who's in the wrong because he clearly could have articulated this at any point in time to OP.
Well, he could have, and again, it shows a fundamental lack of respect for her on so many levels. Like, he doesn't care if she's getting enough sleep. He doesn't care if she has any measure of privacy. He has no problem invading and bringing his mom into her private space.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, just does not seem like a healthy relationship at all. I don't like this man very much.
Well, and why did she have to leave right then and there, right? If she drove 3 hours down, then she could have just stayed for a little while until maybe OP was in a better place to be around guests, right? But she demanded OP's time immediately when she got through the door. And not that I'm saying that that OP was still, should have humored her visitation at that point in time, but
Right.
I think OP would have been a little bit more open to guests if they had just let her sleep and wait until she was actually ready to see guests.
Yeah, well, it sounds like all OP wants is notice, which is
Mm-hmm.
such a minimal thing to ask for. This isn't a partnership, this is a dictatorship.
Mm-hmm. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Binger5 says, not the jerk. Maybe your mother-in-law will coordinate with you in the future if she plans on making a 3-hour trip to see the baby. And OP replies, I have told her to contact me instead, and she says, you never answer your phone. All because I missed one call from her last year because I was taking a shower. She hasn't tried contacting me since. Such determination. Such perseverance to get a hold of OP.
Mm-hmm.
And Inside Owl 9536 says, not the jerk, not only have you told him to inform you of your guests coming, but he brought his mother into your bedroom and woke you up. For me, that's crossing a line and invading your personal space even more. And OP replies, this has always been an issue because she apparently doesn't believe in boundaries. There was also a time when I was roughly 6 months pregnant that she came into the bedroom, woke me up, and said, stop being lazy, you need to help carry in the groceries, because she insists on bringing us food and pantry food despite us telling her that we don't need or want it. My husband actually had my back on that one because there were only 2 boxes and I didn't need to be woken up. But my lord, still sounds very infantilizing. Sounds like the mother feels like she can order OP around and to do things because she's like an errant child.
Yeah, well, mother-in-law needs to have boundaries. They need to go low contact with her until she can start respect. Like, that's the way you get people to respect your boundaries, is by actually enforcing the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let her into your house when she shows up last minute. Don't, like, if she tries, like, walking into your bedroom and waking you up, immediately kick her out. Be like, we're not seeing you today. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke that was written by someone who knows how to write jokes, and we have proof because we have a bunch of joke books from them.
Friend, is that your brother? Sister, yes. Friend, he's very short, isn't he? Sister, well, he's only my half-brother.
I see. I gotcha. I got it. It's funny because she cut him in half. And I have licorice spice. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy, wonderful Wednesday, Hump Day, Friday, Junior's Eve. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, have it on boundaries with family members.
It is important to have boundaries with family members so that everyone can have a safe and enjoyable time.
Yes. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.